And good afternoon, everybody. This is Jersey Talk Radio coming to you from the Flemington Car and Truck Country Broadcast Center right here in beautiful downtown Flemington at 127 Main Street. And this is all about real estate with Joe and Tony.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Tony.
Is this working?
Yes.
It is. Oh, okay. We're good. Yeah, what a miserable day out there coming here.
It is a little miserable, but Tony, it's not snow.
It's not snow.
So listen, welcome everybody to the show. I just want to recap real quickly. Last week we had a great show, I thought.
With Mr. Shanahan?
Mr. Shanahan gave a lot of good information. And like I said before, it was free. And you don't get much free advice from an attorney. So you guys out there had some good advice, and we won't rehash that show. But if you need any numbers for Bob or anything else, you can always call us, and we'll give you those numbers during the show. But I just want to say hello to my good friend Tony Page, who's now left the Big W family, Weichert family, and went over to RE/MAX.
I did. Yeah. It's interesting to see what the other side of the street
So tell me,
like.
is there okay, we're going to answer this question right now. Is there a difference in real estate agents, or we know agents, offices?
Absolutely there is. Yeah.
There is.
Now, I wouldn't say any of them are any better. Each one is run, as you know, independently, with some certainly regulations and processes that you have to follow for the state, for your own company.
Sure.
But as far as the makeup of the offices, that's the first thing you notice.
Sure. Yeah.
We were previously in an office of 100+ people.
I'm in an office of about 100 people, and you're in an office of how many?
I'd say about 10.
10.
10 at the moment.
There we go. Big difference.
Yeah.
But, I don't disagree with you, Tony. Some people will say, wow, I might get more personal input from a smaller office.
The interesting thing is, too, where we are, you come over the bridge.
I love where you are.
People actually stop, and we have listings on the windows in between and they look. It's incredible, the traffic that's there, and people... Because originally, remember you were saying, let's get the smart screen up in the window.
If you could only get that smart screen. I go to Naples, Florida, as you know. Maybe not know. I love that. It's my other home. Mm-hmm. And this agency has, right in the window, right now as we're standing here, they have a big, big flat screen TV on this side of the glass. But yet, somehow, you can use the other side of the glass and manipulate the screen. Yeah. It's phenomenal. And people stand there for hours, and they're like looking at different homes for sale, touching the window of the office, and manipulating the screen. So I'm saying, Tony, you guys have the best spot, but the town is not in love with that idea.
Well, it's just in keeping with the Charles Dickens type theme, and so that they want to keep it a little bit more historic. Now, we could ask Janice about it too, but
I understand.
My broker, Mark, and he's actually going to come on with us one time.
That'd be good. I'd love to meet him.
He's very techno-friendly. Like we have one big screen TV, and that has a lot of training going all the time, and you can change around anything. And there's another one going into the meeting room. But you do individual custom searches. On Sunday I was there, and a person came in and he asked, "Oh, do you have a list of rentals you can give me?" And I said, "Look, they change so quickly. I can print one out for you."
Sure.
Based on what it is you're looking for, and so I gave it to him. But that's the other thing. I think some agencies are still very traditional. Mm-hmm. Some of the smaller ones perhaps, and this isn't judgmental at all. They may actually provide their customers a lot better service because it's face-to-face. It's what their perhaps slightly older clients want. Whereas some of the younger ones, they're more virtual than anything.
The NAR and New Jersey State has said that the amount
NAR being
National Association of Realtors are saying now that the people today looking for homes are about 80 to 90%. What would you say?
I thought you were going to say 80 to 90 years old.
Well, that's a different.
Jersey
that's different.
Would be good for that. Yeah.
But the average person that's looking for a home today is on the computer first.
Yeah.
And there's over 80 to 90%.
Oh, I think it's more than 90%.
Probably 90%. They're on all of these, Garden State. They're on all of the websites, Trillia and all. And they're already out there. So when they call us, and they call me, I had a guy call me the other night and says, "Hey, I saw a house." I go, "You did? Where?" "Oh, yeah." And he sends me the list, and he sends me everything about it. So I go, "Cool. that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, why do you need me? Well, you know, but they need you, of course. But
Need to be a key, if nothing else.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know, most of these people are out there looking. They're filtering, and they're simple, easy to look. It's an easy thing to look at homes.
Well, there's a lot more information available, but at the same time, if you're receiving incorrect information, are you any better off? It can form an opinion that is quite incorrect.
I had a person call me, excited. Oh, I saw this listing. And, oh, my God, we got to go and run right over there and buy it. I go, really? I'm all for that. But what I like to do is I dig deeper. I go into second and third levels, and I'd always do a Google Earth search. You can see a lot. And I won't talk about the property. It wouldn't be fair, and I won't talk about anybody. But I looked at it, and I go, what the heck is that next to it? And it was a large piece, about 4 acres. But I saw all these drums.
Drugs.
Drums.
Oh, drums. Okay.
55-gallon drums.
Yeah, what sort of drugs are you
So I thought, not drugs. So I called the guy back. I said, listen, do me a favor. Get on Google Earth and pull back and take a look. And he calls me back, goes, oh, my God. Oh, my God. What the heck is that? So we found out what it was. I won't reveal what it is because it doesn't matter. But you really need to do your homework.
Yes,
And, okay, now, it sounds like a pitch for a realtor, and it is. Right?
Right.
This is what you do. We do this 7 days a week. And so what's the first thing I do is I start looking for what's wrong. I hate to use that negative attitude, but I'm looking at, is there anything wrong that I can pinpoint to my client? And so I said, you make the decision if you don't mind bordering this property of blah, blah. And he goes, oh, my God, I didn't know that. So there's a lot of stuff you do for
Well, absolutely. Yeah, that's really the starting. I think it also helps protect us because we're two reasonably confident males, but there's a lot of women in the real estate industry, and personal security is one of them. And you know, these rural areas that some of them need to go out and meet clients that they may not have met before is something that should be taken into account. Equally, the other way around. You know, people shouldn't be out there without having met someone at the office.
Right.
Remember? Do
yeah.
you still actually do that? And
yeah. You just don't go out and meet. Yes, you're right. I wouldn't let it go alone.
Apart from,
I don't let my wife go out alone. No.
Some people don't even have a real idea. It's like they wake up and as they're having a piece of toast, what should we do today?
You know, I just want to, let me change subject a little bit. I just came, on my way here, I just was at the County Board of Health down on Route 12.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to give a shout out to those guys. They were phenomenal. I mean, I went in there, and Laura was behind the counter. Laura, if you hear me, thank you. And she couldn't do enough for me. And what we're doing is my client is looking at buying 3 acres of property. And on the property was a house that burnt down, and there's a septic on it. He wants to build a house on the
shared septic between both, or
no, it was a septic system on the property for this house that burnt down.
oh, so there's only one house on the property.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he wants to know, okay, let's talk about what is the status of the septic system and all of that. So I said, listen, he works all day. So I ran over there just now. And those people were the nicest people. They gave me the whole file.
Yep.
I sat in the room and opened it up, and I'm reading it. I thought I knew septics, but more I know, more I don't know. So I'm looking at this. I said, is anybody there? So they went and got this young lady who was
She's the inspector, yeah.
the inspector.
Yeah.
She comes out, sits down with me, and what a sweetheart.
Right.
So I'm saying, help me out. This is not a regular septic. This is a mound, isn't it? She goes, yep. I go, okay. So we have a mound system. And I said, now, this is a 2-bedroom house, correct? She goes, yep. I said, he wants to build a 3-bedroom. Is there going to be a problem? She goes, shouldn't be. But we got to get an engineer out there. We got to look to see if the size of the field that they made the mound is large enough for a 3-bedroom. But the answer is he can definitely do it. But they were the nicest people.
Well, it's interesting. You know, sorry, go.
No, I'm saying is, I mean, so the guy, I called him up and said what I found, and he couldn't thank me enough. And I mean, the guy works all day. And so
I have always gone along the way of filling out their template. And you fax it over to them the night before.
You
just went along there without filling out anything.
I called them last night, got a hold of Laura.
Okay.
And I said, Laura, do you still go out to the building and get? She goes, oh no, we don't do that anymore. I go, what? So last time, I guess they moved all the files back in.
Yeah.
She goes, just come on down. So I gave her the address, lot and block number. She goes, no problem, just come tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was it.
Right.
And I went down there, and oh my gosh, they were wonderful.
Yeah. And you got the file with all of the well information as well, I'm assuming.
I didn't even look at the well, to be honest with you. Shame on me.
When I go, that's what I typically do. Before you actually list a property, I fill out the form. In fact, it's here. I have them all
You just happen to have one there, don't you?
Well, I do.
Well, and not to change the subject, but any realtor has to verify that the house they're selling, the septic matches the house.
I see. Well, number of bedrooms.
The
right?
bedrooms.
Yeah.
Because if you know or don't know, everybody says, "Oh, I need I'm going to put another bathroom in, so I need another septic." People
That's
don't.
The formula.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Yeah. But you're right. It's basically just the block and lot.
The
music,
people
you know.
have to understand that a septic system today, or maybe in the past and always, is designed by the number of bedrooms. You could have 32 bathrooms.
Right.
Doesn't matter. It's bedrooms. So you have to verify that the house that you're selling is a 3-bedroom, that the system is a 3-bedroom, not a 2-bedroom. So that's why we have this relationship with the County Board of Health.
Well, and it's unique too because some towns still have their own health department, like Reddington and which
Right.
other ones. And there's the hybrid county, well, together with them as well. And it's just like with your poll experience, Richard. You know, when push comes to shove, having more doesn't always make it better. does it? You
but
know?
No.
I was.
I've got a question. I don't want to interrupt you, but
You don't, please go.
you talked about it's a mound.
Yes.
What's the difference between a mound? Because I know my in-laws have a mound up in the Poconos, and I've got a sunken tank. Is there a
It has
difference?
nothing to do with the tank.
No.
The tank is always going to be in the ground, 99%.
Okay.
It's the field.
That the mound is actually the field.
Well, the mound needs power too. For
The
it to
mound,
operate.
they pump it.
Yeah, but it has a pump. So that's one of the key differences.
Okay.
But tell me if I'm wrong. I'll start off. You jump in. A mound is there as almost an alternative system because the ground isn't quite right for drainage.
Okay. In the Poconos, there's probably a lot of rock.
There you
Oh,
go.
yes, like-
Yeah.
So what they do is they make a mound. Actually, it's a mound.
Yeah.
And in the mound are the tubes, and then all of that.
Okay.
And Tony's
to
right.
tell you how stupid I am, I thought
No.
their septic tank was in that mound.
No. Septic is still in the ground.
Okay.
I'm 99% sure, right?
Yeah, depending
And-
on the shape of the lot, because that's what the engineer really designs.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to have enough laterals for the size of
Yeah, they-
the field.
And
They're
then
in
they
a-
pump it, and
they're
then they
in
have
a,
to pump it up. There's
Yeah,
a
they're
pump
in
system.
a community
Yep.
that the lots are fairly small,
Right.
and everybody's got the mounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, mounds are fine, but some people object to these little berms.
Yeah.
I mean, they
No,
look
I won't bother you anymore.
no,
Well,
you
no, it's
never
actually
bother
because-
us, Richard. I mean, you come up with some very good
Yeah,
questions.
what it comes back to is perking. The amount of absorption from that soil, and we both think it's a dark art because, well, on septic, and we've had septic people on the show,
Yeah.
and we'll have more. It isn't licensed, as I understand it still, and no New Jersey body really wants to take it under its wing. So you do have some variations between the different service providers as to what the results are. We've always taken the view that if you use a professional engineer, he is really the hire of a septic
Correct.
service provider.
Correct.
And Mr. Doug Fine comes fairly well represented and recommended, but he's so busy, and so are a number of other people. So I've had clients that gave up and had to call other people.
But septic is, as we spoke many times, if you have an older house, be prepared for that day when you go to, if when you sell that house, somebody's shaking his head on the other side of the table. That when you sell that house, be prepared for the septic test and keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, talk to the different septic providers, and maybe they'll do the work without having to be paid up until closing when they know there's a contract.
We're doing that exactly
Now,
right
that
now.
can be tricky. You need to get very good advice from an attorney
We're doing
because
that.
what if the home doesn't close? What if it? And those situations come up all
There's,
the time.
a septic provider has to be in that business of doing exactly what
Right.
you just said. Not everybody's got 30, 40,000 in the bank.
Yeah.
And
And
they're
hopefully they don't all cost 30 or
But,
40,000.
so what do they do is saying, well, I want to sell the house, but it's a dog chasing. I don't have the 30,000.
Right.
I will have the 30,000 after I close.
Right.
So there's people out there now, and we're negotiating one right now as we speak that says, I understand. Get the contract, lock it in. I'll put the system in, and on closing, I'll be at the closing table with you, and you write me a check for X amount of money. And those people who are doing that are going to be the smart people today. I mean, it's a gamble. How do you protect it? I don't know, but we're doing one right now, just like that. So
Yeah.
It's-
And
it's-
that's the same even with oil tank removal when you think about it, because until it's actually done, nobody can close on it. And you really can't go through the formal mortgage process because no one's going to write a mortgage on a property like that.
yeah, so
The
we're going to
liabilities.
do a whole case study on a house sale with somebody sitting at the table here who's not always in the TV screen.
Wow.
About remember we got oils. We got to have our oil guy coming in and talk to Richard about oil sweeps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 1,000-gallon tank.
You've
It's in the
discovered
ground.
that. Yep. And it's been filled, right?
I haven't
It's
used it.
abandoned.
You
It's
haven't-
abandoned.
okay, just
I haven't used it in years.
yeah. But it's been abandoned sort of semi-professionally.
Nope.
It was drained. No, it's just been.
It's just I just stopped using it. I mean, it was working.
Yeah, get it out as soon as possible.
Get it out. We'll never ever
Yeah,
sell
it
it out.
won't get any better.
Now, let me ask you this, because people say,
Go
well,
ahead.
what about if you sell a house as is?
Nope.
Well, as is, you can't sell it. Banks can sell as is, but the only difference
And that
is,
would probably be a short sale or something, huh?
no, it doesn't have to be. All it is it's just they're foregoing the right to have inspections, basically.
But
They're
see,
saying,
in
"We'll
the
agree to the
contract,
price."
it says that all parties have the right for inspections. You
Inspections,
can't
yeah.
negate that.
Yeah.
But you
Unless they do. People
Yeah.
will waive that right.
very few people
And
waive
then-
their rights.
Well, they're
So you
attorneys,
can say,
yeah.
"Oh, I'm selling you my house, Richard, as is." Basically, I'm trying to alert you by saying, "Don't come back to me for repairs." That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I don't say you could go out there and spend all your money on inspections, and you should. Now you find something really big. You can come back to the guy and say, listen, I know it says this, but I got to have this. So most attorneys feel that as is just nonsense.
Okay, a few years ago, I had somebody approach me and said, I'd like to buy the house, but I'm going to tear it down.
Good.
I want the 7 acres.
Okay.
So
Right.
what happens in that case?
Well, you just need to
Because
make
we're
sure
going to
you've
rebuild
made-
here.
You've made no representations as to what can be done on the land other than enjoy the quiet lifestyle of your home.
Yeah.
It's a residential setting. You have no idea what this person intends to do, but it's basically about representing that he might be able to do something that you don't have the right
Okay.
to
Okay.
make, okay?
Right.
And that's where zoning and other things come in. Because quite often you change the footprint on a certain building or knock it down, you may not even be able to put it back to that size. We have a lot of laws here in New Jersey, the Highlands,
The Highlands.
different restrictive impervious coverage. There are so many things, and we actually deal quite often with zoning attorneys. And things can change. You can scratch your head with some of the decisions, but they have a plan. They should have a master plan within the town that's reviewed every so often, and it's like a 10-year plan. And they should be sticking to some of those. But we look at different developments in certain areas, and you go, why would they have done that? And it may have not been someone else's interest.
Well, yeah, and I think with
Look here locally, the Union Hotel.
yeah.
People have wanted to change it around. The town has sort of said, well, no, we want these things to still be there, whereas a developer would probably not do it the same way.
But the burden that falls on your buyer, Richard, in this case, I would have the buyer. You want to build a farm and raise camels? Go ahead. I don't care. It's not my problem. I'm selling the property. You have to go
Right.
and get all your permits and approvals.
And your
Right.
attorney would
And
make
your
sure that's done.
attorney
Yeah.
would cover you. Here again is where the importance of an attorney is.
Sure.
Good
So-
examples, the Buffalo Farm. What's
That's
that,
right.
523.
You can't build a house on
Have you
that.
seen the posts? That are actually around there. It's unbelievable.
So, again, it's going back to as much as people love or hate attorneys, you need an attorney in this state. I'm sorry. In the state of New Jersey, I would not even think about buying or selling a home without an attorney.
It's like title insurance too.
So,
It's It's protections, it's inspections.
You need to get an attorney. Somebody says, I want to buy the property, and they give you a price that you like, Richard. Well, they just give you a number, and you go, wow, that isn't bad. And say, listen, I just want to buy the property. Well, the house is on it. I'm not doing anything with the house. You buying everything, and you tear the house down. I don't care. You're responsible
Sure.
for that. So the attorney would write out the conditions of the sale. So
Okay.
that's very important. Now, if anybody's out there listening and really has a question for Uncle Tony or me, please call us. I'd love for you to call us. You can call me on my cell or Tony's. Mine is 908-303-0878. You want to talk to Mr. Tony?
908-619-8656. Yeah.
Give us a call. Try it. Test us.
Well-
We enjoy that. We enjoy helping people.
We just like listening to ourselves. Come on, let's be truthful here.
No.
Yeah.
I enjoy. I really kind of enjoy testing my knowledge base when people ask me questions like Richard or anybody.
Yep.
What if? And I think I've been in this business long enough, and I think I've hit everything. But no, I don't, because I always find something new. But I know where to get the answers from. I really do, because we've been in this long enough. We have a lot of resources, attorneys, and fellow people in business. And
I would bet you know more than what you realize you know.
There's a saying, some people have
I don't
forgotten
know
more than
what-
other people have learned. You know.
I found that out,
wait, say that again.
that you know more than what you realize you know. I found that out at Newsweek when I'd bring a new person in and start telling them what we do. I was doing things that I never even thought about.
You're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And I
mean,
suddenly
you know,
knew a lot more than I kind of amazed myself.
I find myself learning things almost weekly. Really, there's things like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And I enjoy being a center of resource. I really do. I mean, I feel that's why you need a realtor. When you go to a realtor, and I can't believe the questions I get from people, Tony. I
Oh,
get
I know.
questions, I'm like, are you kidding me? What is a septic? I go, like, are you kidding me? But
Oh,
you know, I get that question, and I'm being like, when I moved out here 35 years ago, I guess that was me. Now it's so second nature to what we do.
I can remember this Sunday afternoon. I was showing one a little further over from Old Blossom, and this lady and her boyfriend from Manhattan, they were probably in their late 50s, were looking around, and she didn't understand that you were responsible for trimming your own trees. She thought the town took care of them, because Manhattan, you know. And I went, oh, no.
Yeah. Then
So you're right. You do need
And-
to,
and-
and from different states.
and people, you know, when you get some people get the water from the ground. I go, yeah, it's
Yeah.
called a well.
Yeah.
Do I have to go out and crank? No.
Yeah.
And the questions are so basic to us. It's like mind-boggling sometimes. I'm like, really? Did you really think that? She goes, so when I flush the toilet, he goes, where? And I go, oh, here we go. And I go on a piece of paper and explain it, and
Well, that's
they're
the biggest thing
dumbfounded.
too, power. What happens to your well if you lose power? A
well,
lot of people haven't.
oh,
actually,
thank God I don't have a well. I'm
Yeah.
going to be honest. I live in Clinton Township.
Yeah.
And I am on city water, which is 7 artesian wells. I am almost guaranteed of the quality of water. I get quarterly reports. And you're right, Tony. If there's a power outage, I can at least have water.
Yep.
And if you don't have a
And
generator,
you have natural gas there too.
I do have natural gas, but I only have it for hot water.
Oh dear.
We lost electric during the last storm. I was bringing in big buckets of snow and putting them on the wood stove
Yeah, just to get the.
so that we
Well,
could
you're like a pioneer.
so that we could flush the toilets.
Oh.
Yeah, you had to fill
It would melt down the water. We'd pour it in and we'd flush the toilets.
Well, you're like a real pioneer there.
No, you know what? I also had to replace a utility pole that came down.
I heard that. Let's hear this story.
This is a different one you replaced.
No, this is another one now. The last story. Now, JCP&L, I saw on Facebook, said that you owned
Well,
it but didn't own it?
No, they said I own the pole, so I called an independent contractor to come and put a pole in, and he did on Monday. $6,200 later, I want to put it on my homeowner's insurance. The homeowner's insurance said, we've never heard of such a thing. Can you get a letter from JCP&L that says that you own the poles? And JCP&L refused to give me the letter.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
But they eventually, I saw
I've-
you got some help from somebody,
Yes.
which was good.
Rob Walton,
Rob,
freeholder.
Rob, you're listening. Oh, the freeholder. Well
and he
done.
works at JCP&L, does
And he
Well done.
he got it. We got the within a day. I got the letter in the mail
Kudos to you, buddy.
and
out
sent it
there.
over. And we just got the bill yesterday, and we sent it over to the homeowners insurance.
Good. And they will actually cover it.
That's a
Yes.
That's a good story.
Yes, because they said it's connected. I've got a quarter-mile driveway, and I've got 5 poles that come back from the road. They said I own all those poles. So,
6,200 for a pole. Woo.
well,
Well,
It was-
installed
actually,
with wires on it
yeah, well, actually, the
because they had to remove
working,
one,
the
too.
work, yeah, well, it was about $4,900 worth of just labor.
Mm.
You got to figure they came out with a pole on a big truck, dug the hole, took the other one out, cut it
The
up.
pole's about $1,300.
They told me 2,500, but you know what? It was
That's
only about
62, yeah.
1,300
Yeah,
when
it
I
costs.
looked on the bill.
Yeah.
So
Well done. Well, I'm glad. That was really nice of the freeholder. Good job.
yeah, he jumped in. I put it up on Facebook
I
because
saw you on Facebook with that. That was
I
cool.
was I'd talked to 2 separate people, and it's not JCP&L. It's that new company in Ohio that owns them.
First Energy.
Yes, First Energy. And I talked to 2 people in Akron, and they said, "No, we're not going to send you. You pay it out of your own money if you own it.
Yeah.
Don't give it to your insurance." I said, "Well, no."
That's what insurance is all about.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's
And
nice.
then-
They'll tell you how to.
And then I said, "Well, here's the deal. If you won't give me the letter, I'm sending you the bill."
So,
But they
there you
didn't
go.
care. Anyway,
It's all the fun of a home ownership.
yes, all the fun of, and especially when you've lived there 33 years and just found out that you own the pulse.
Well, I guess that's another asset, right? You know,
I don't know.
$1,300 a pole. You know, hopefully we're in good shape. But
Yeah.
Tony, wait a minute. I want to talk about your new listing. Can we talk about it?
oh yes,
I
yeah.
want to talk about this dynamite listing now. We
It
used
is.
to feature on a previous radio station a listing of the week or something, but I'd like to hear about this. Tell me a little bit about this new listing.
Well, it is a magnificent home and estate to be sure. We're actually having a brokers open tomorrow, which I believe you're coming to.
I will be
between
there.
11:30 and 2.
I know I got to travel.
The old sub base chili will be served, and Manny I think is threatening to bring some red wine. So that'll
Yes,
be
he
good.
did. I talked to him today.
Good. And this home, it's 14.5 acres, right on the edge of Tewksbury in Clinton Township.
14
Up
acres.
Ramsey Road. Do you know where old Blossom Hill Road is?
Oh, lovely
So,
area.
it's
Lovely
actually-
area.
well,
Gosh,
you
gosh.
know.
That is probably the heart.
Yeah,
of
there
the-
are some celebrities that live on the
Yes,
same
yes,
street.
there are
actually.
some celebrities that live
Yes,
on that
yeah.
Ramsey Road.
Miss Ellie, I think.
Miss
is one.
Ellie lives
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But lovely area. So
is.
tell me more about the
And
house.
so it's actually in the Hillview Farm Estate. And when this was subdivided, they had some interesting ordinance, and one was you must have stone on your home, no vinyl, had to be wood, and this was around 2002.
How about hardy plank? Probably hardy plank.
Yeah, no,
No.
I don't think so.
No, wow.
I'm honestly not sure though, but there is another home for sale that's just gone on as well, a little further up. And the interesting thing here is they have all these peach trees there.
Yes.
They actually date back to
Yes.
for a long time too. So
There used to be, I could tell you, I lived there. I live at the bottom of the hill, so listen, I'd put me up there, but I wish I was. There used to be a big white farmhouse there, and we used to go up there and pick the peaches. And when they sold everything out, we were devastated because we lost the peach farm. And then we got this beautiful hillside. What's going to happen? And just, boy, what they built. Oh,
yeah, nice homes. aren't
oh
they?
look.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Well,
tell me
well,
more.
this one, it's got a very long sweeping drive that comes through. You do pass a late 1800s stone spring house. Still functions, and it's a large one because the farmer's home was just on the other side.
That's the
across
white-
from there.
the
The
white-
steps are still there, but the home has gone. Yeah, and you proceed up to the beautiful home that is really tastefully done, and the quality. We've had 3 showings, and
Wow.
everyone's been. Some of them actually want bigger homes than 5,000 square foot for, or I should say 48.7, whatever it is. But it's a very good size if you don't want to be in the ballroom business, you know. And it has an unfinished attic with 3 dormers, great views again, full basement with all sorts of extras. You know, the backup generator, as we're saying, and they have natural gas up there. Interestingly enough, though, they never extended, not my clients, who are the original owners, the water or the sewer further up there. And as
What
you know,
sewer? There's no
I
sewer.
thought there was sewer further down.
No.
One
I
of my
wish.
New Jersey property facts reports, I thought, had it there.
No.
But certainly water's there, as you
We
were
have
saying
city
before.
water, absolutely.
Well, they don't. They actually have their own well.
Really?
Yep. And, you know, but they have natural gas. Which
Well,
is
I'll tell you,
wonderful.
when they were building those beautiful homes, they ran the gas line up my street, and they knocked on my door. He says, "We're running gas. Would you want gas to your house?" I go,
Yeah.
"What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, we'll run the gas right to your house for free, and we'll give you a free hot water heater." I go, "Okay."
Sounds good
I
to
mean,
me,
like it
yeah.
was like are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So they ran gas line right to my house and the hot water heater, and I just had to get a plumber in to connect it, so I actually have gas in my house for my hot water.
Yeah.
So
Natural gas is nice. And it's not just price. It's, you know.
Now,
you
what
get-
about if I play golf, Tony? Is there anything up there?
There is, as you
What?
know. This
Where?
gentleman is a very good golfer, has a par 3 golf hole with several sand and other bunkers around the green. It is majestic. There's 175 acres of basically hay fields next door,
Yep.
which are 2 farmers. There's rolling meadows. It is
It's,
very clear.
I know the house. It
Horse
is
property potential.
gorgeous
Well,
house.
you'll see it tomorrow.
So, Tony, if I was to buy a house like this in beautiful Clinton Township, and the downside of that house is, I have to tell you, is the neighbor, me. I'm down the hill.
Yes.
What would somebody expect to pay for a house like that?
Well, we have it on the market for 1.395 million, and out of the 3 people that have seen it so far, nobody has really thought that it was overly priced.
So
The-
$1.4 million
1.4,
gets you
yeah.
14 acres of a majestic house.
It is, yep.
Gosh.
When you do the comparisons, I took it a little further east, and you know, the Peapack Gladstone areas and the Burnets and
I
things.
can't imagine.
And the land, there actually is still pockets of green further east from us as well, and they tend to be more in the 1.8 and up. You know?
Oh,
So
yeah.
the trade-off here is that you're actually a little further west. Is that good? Well, they are still quite close to 78. You know, you get to Cokesbury Road and you're straight on 78.
Well, that's
Both are
good.
good
And,
enough.
that's good and bad. You know,
Yeah.
the thing that's keeping Hunterdon County prices down is the distance from New York City.
Hmm.
And the further east you go, what happens to the price of homes?
The further east,
Yeah.
they're definitely going up.
They go up,
Yeah,
and
dramatically so.
it's all linked in with the distance to the job.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And plus transportation, right?
That's what I was going to say.
well,
actually.
the
Yeah.
lack of transportation that we have, I
Yeah,
should
but
say.
once you move east, you got more capability to.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're still on a horse buggy back
Yeah,
out
the
here.
options we have here are so limited. And actually, one of the people that, do you know Tom Shaw? He used to own the Alarmtronics or something, I think, the business. And I spoke to him, Mr. Benjamin. You know, what's his name? Ben, is it? Yeah, I forget. You know, Flemington Furs. Bob Benjamin, okay. He recommended to talk to him about the passenger train suggestions they've put forward. And so when he's back in town, he'll be coming on. And he's also a former business owner downtown here. So very much looking forward to that conversation. And I'm fully on board with trying to maintain some of those existing train routes, if nothing else. You know, because once they've gone, it's incredibly hard to ever try and get them back in. And the cost, you know. But we still got our buses. I think the other thing is, where's the businesses for people so you don't have to commute, you know? One of the things is here we have CenturyLink, according to what Bruce is saying, and we've got plenty of bandwidth here, and the CO is just down the street, which is a great thing. So the resurgence of some of these businesses as online entities, just like Jersey Talk Radio here, is a great thing, I think. And you can broaden your audience as well. But
Well,
where are the people? Because apart from the fact that it's like a shrouded mist getting here, it was like a whiteout in a lot of places,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah, absolutely.
You know,
But you know, when you look at your demographics of where your people are coming from and where they work, it's definitely all east. And they all come out here because they get a much better buy than anywhere else. There's no argument in my
Well,
opinion.
I don't think everyone comes out for that. Price is a factor, but
Price-
a lot of people, it's lifestyle though.
Oh my God!
You know, it's,
oh yeah.
it's like they want to be
The
in
life-
Flemington, they want to be in Clinton,
The-
Lambertville.
The
New
lifestyle
Hope. Yeah.
is.
You
I
know?
got a guy right now I'm working with, and he's out of somewhere back there in the like Jersey City area, but he's not of that age where Jersey City's happening. He's got to get out. He said, "I want to come out here," because he comes out once in a while and he just fell in love with it.
Right.
Some of these people are big hunters. They like to hunt, and they come out here, and this is like, oh my God,
Yeah.
they died and went to heaven. So
Well, yeah, Jersey City. It's funny you bring that. How long do you think it is from the street you live on in this new listing? 51 minutes, it says. Now, obviously, in the morning, peak tower. What's that? Is it-
1 hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's and of course, as you go, it depends. What are those bridges across there going over?
Pulaski?
Pulaski Skyway. Yeah, they were doing some work. Is that finished
They're
yet?
always doing work.
I don't think it closed. Okay, so that's the. But yeah, it's so you can do it, but if there's an accident, you're going to pay the price. You're going to be stuck.
Oh my God!
That's the price we pay for living out this way.
If you're fortunate to be working out here and living out here, you got the. I mean, I was fortunate. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. I came out here with Exxon Corporation 35 years ago, and my God, I thought I died and went to heaven. They moved me out here from Cranford, New Jersey. I lived 5 minutes from where I worked for 30 years, and I had it made. Even I actually could go home for lunch. I did.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was great. So I had the best of both worlds, and I can't complain. But I look at these people every day. Man, they're out there when it's dark
That's
out
right.
in their car, and boom, going east.
Well, you have a look Long Island. Let's sort of look at another dense area, the LIE, and the northern state, the southern state, and all those.
No.
Whenever I go over there, it's like, oh, just shoot me now. But I find it easier to go up to the GW and go over. As far as going over some of the other bridges, and never had good luck with the Verrazano. Just getting onto it,
I sometimes don't understand how people do it. They
Yeah.
come home at 6:37, 7:30 at night, and they must get beat to hell driving that road. And
Well, it's the lifeline. Like the LIRR. You look how often they have a glitch and how
Yep,
many
yep.
people suffer. The infrastructure, and let's just stay in New Jersey, but it's good to every so often recognize there's other places that have worse congestion and other issues as well. It's just ours is a matter of our budgets, I think.
I think I need to call up our guy, or I'm going to text our
Okay.
buddy.
He actually has a meeting, I think, at 6. So
He was-
the later it's got, he probably wasn't able to get in. But
He's our mortgage
Yeah.
guy. I want to hear about it because there's a lot
you
of
do that.
there's a lot of talk about what's going on with
Well, yeah,
mortgages.
the state of the market. I've actually been seeing, and in my office and the people I'm talking, there's quite a lot of activity. I'm not saying that everything's selling and buyers are closing and it's starting to pick up like it was back in 2005 and 6, but it's certainly ticking along, wouldn't you say?
I'm
For
seeing
this weather.
the weather is the nice weather has gotten people out earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at homes now, and everybody says the spring market. We had a big sales meeting Tuesday that you weren't there. You're not allowed anymore.
No.
But
I still
we had
want
the
my omelet,
we had the regional vice president there, of course, and they all say the same thing. This is going to be a phenomenal year. It's sales. That this weather has actually kicked off the spring market earlier because we've been in 45 degrees.
Oops.
Is that you?
It's Mr. Manny.
So we've been in the weather that's been outstanding, and people are actually looking. So do we have somebody here?
He does. Yeah, let's just
All right, now
put it
we
on
are.
speaker.
Here we go. How do you do this?
Get in. Just in the top. Yep.
Hold
Mr.
on.
Manny Farinocci is joining us. our
Manny, are you
mortgage man.
there? Hold on, Manny. We got you on audio block. Try that now.
I can hear you very lightly though.
Okay. All right. I can hear you now. Good. How you been?
Good. It's just, is it fully plugged in? Just on the.
Hold on.
Okay.
Talk to me. Hold on. We're having a little issue.
It's just the volume.
Don't go away, Manny.
we were saying the market seems to be.
Try that now.
well.
Can you say something? Nah, no, we're having a little technical. Must be that crummy phone of Tony's.
It could be.
All right, how's it going? Oh, worse.
Actually, let's see. Did we turn up the volume on that side? Maybe it went down.
Don't hang
The
up.
top. Yeah, to the top. Keep talking, Manny.
Nah,
No.
you're off in the distance.
Okay. Well,
We got wires all over here, Manny, so bear with us.
So yeah, once we get the volume right, the interesting thing with the interest rate change from Janet Yellen, I think it actually has freed things up a bit. So maybe it's got people off the sitting spot thinking, oh,
Yeah.
woe was me, what are we going to do? Now they've decided, hey, the interest rates have started to move. Let's do something because they do know
Hold on,
secretly
Manny.
it is a very low rate. So
Well,
it's a
right
good
now
idea.
they're saying the best thing that could happen to the real estate market is that the rates do sneak up a little. Are you still there?
Why is that? The rate sneak
Yeah,
up?
well, if the rates go up, the people are going to get off the fence.
Oh, yeah. Was that part of Little Joe's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to also do a shout out to Melissa Hapler.
Yeah.
I understand
How's that?
she is.
Manny.
Yes, sir.
There
Hey, we got you.
Perfect.
Here we are. Got you, pal. We had our technical people here working on it, and we pulled them in there. Got it.
Okay, Tony, I heard you talk about the prime lending rate. You know, the
Yes.
prime lending rate went up by Yellen, and yet mortgage rates have come down.
Down. Yeah,
Because the stock market's been getting hammered.
exactly.
All
Yeah.
right. What's that? What's down, Manny? Tell the guy that wants to buy a house today. What's he going to pay?
Well, I was pricing today an FHA around at 3.75.
Woo!
A conventional loan at 3.875.
Wow. Not so. They actually dipped down today.
Yes, the 3.875 was a guy who has a condo in Naples, Florida.
Oh,
That's my buddy. I'm going
Yeah.
down in May. Tell him I'll buy that place.
And he was selling his condo.
Nine.
Refinancing it, but it's worth $925,000. However, he will sell it.
Get my pre-qual letter together for that, will you?
Okay.
Yeah. So listen. So what else?
I'm building an ark right now.
Oh man. Well, it stopped
I
raining.
think it stopped. Yeah.
It all stopped in
Yeah.
Flemington.
It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow.
Hillsborough's probably underwater.
Well, it's funny because I'm home right now, and my lawn is completely grassed. What I did was for the storm.
Oh, the snow,
I
yeah.
stripped all the snow off the lawn, so I have no snow anywhere on my property.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's going here pretty quickly.
So Manny, let's talk serious, Manny. On real estate, are you seeing it picking up on your end, or is this
Absolutely.
absolutely? So the story of real estate picking up early is true.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, the issue is an inventory issue.
Yeah, well, I'm starting to see it now. I'm starting to see a little houses every day starting to come on now. So I think the people that have been sitting on homes waiting for the market are starting to come out of the woods.
Yeah, well, bearing in mind we look at a limited.
Well, a lot of them were, still underwater, and I think now that they're, a lot of these people are emerging from not being underwater and can get out from underneath their properties and make the move, whether it's an upgrade or a downgrade. The thing, I never saw a bigger amount of elderly people downgrading.
Yeah.
You
and that's going to continue, isn't it? As it
Oh, it's
trends?
only going to get worse,
Yeah.
Manny.
Yeah. The other
And,
interesting.
well, that's okay.
I'm
listen,
actually seeing quite a lot of expireds each day, though, too.
Yeah.
Meaning that inventory that's there isn't being cleared out.
I see
It's
a- I
predominantly distressed.
I see a lot of inventory that's, if you look, the archives, they've been out there for 4 times or more.
Right.
So it's not new inventory. It's been there with
getting
it.
recycled,
It ran.
yeah.
It's recycled. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so,
going back to what you just said is, you heard my speeches many times about the elderly, and it's only going to get worse. It's really only going to get worse.
Well, I do a lot of financing down in Monroe where there's
big communities for over 50.
there's a lot of elderly over
Yeah.
55 communities down there, and some of the taxes on these are like single family, but they're very small homes. They're actually called PUDs in a community,
Planned urban development.
and the taxes on them are like $2,800
Yeah.
a year. They're on the market for 2, 3, 4 days.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
They're gone.
because the market is so good for them. Yeah, that's a good market.
Yeah. Big turnover, and unfortunately, you know why the turnover is down there, but people pass away. But
well, that's one of the things you're always going to be challenged with in this market is change of philosophy and approach and design intent. We all know that ranches or single-level living is something that has a lot more appeal to a broader cross-section of people, except for the person that's building it, because they've found a prime building lot, and to only put a ranch on, in their mind,
Big footprint.
they're not able to mark it up as much. And for some reason, until we fix that, I think we're going to struggle, because multi-unit developments of the like that you see in more urban settings tend not to be suggested out here because of the lack of infrastructure. You need to have all your own little sewer.
Yeah. And Manny, have you
Complex,
ever seen or heard of Echo?
Has
Echo?
anyone purchased
Yeah, the
temporary home for
The
the
temporary
parents?
homes for seniors. It's called Echo Housing.
no.
Yeah.
All right,
You've
it's-
never done one. Yeah.
All right. It's a concept that's not taken off, where a person can actually have a temporary house on their property for the elderly parent, and then
Oh.
if and when the person passes away, they have to remove it. Have you ever heard of that concept?
No, never heard of that.
Well, look it up. At your next meeting, ask anybody ever hear of ECHO, meaning, I forgot what it means.
Right.
Elderly, no, I don't know. But yeah, it never caught on. Towns didn't like
you
it.
know what's big down in Florida right now? The type of housing, they take the ship containers
Yeah, I heard
and
that.
they convert them into homes.
Well, they got solid oak floors. Remember that, Bruce?
Whoa.
We talked
Yeah,
about
well-
that? Was it you? Yeah. They have like they have oak floors in them, I think.
If you
Yeah,
remember,
well,
by
yeah, they have oak floors, but
Yeah, you ain't putting that in Naples, pal.
by the
Oh, they
airport,
don't
you can
want-
get
who
some
wants to
pretty
live in a
cheap
container?
accommodation. Those
Yeah, I know.
containers. Yeah.
All right, so now the mortgages actually came down.
yeah.
How's all these new regulations playing out? Is it leading to
you know
any
what?
delays? Or
They did a study and they found that with these new TRID closings since October 3rd, 90% of the closings are done incorrectly.
yeah, I heard you say that.
Yeah, but it's getting better, they said, isn't it?
No. A perfect example is when you come to a closing, you used to get a HUD-1, now that's been replaced with something called a closing disclosure, a
Right.
CD.
Right.
There's a buyer CD and a seller CD, and nobody can see each other's, the buyers can't see the sellers can't see the buyers. But what title companies are using are these ALTA statements, which everybody signs, which defeats the whole purpose of having a closing disclosure.
Yeah.
And that's a violation. But I have closings with different title companies, and they're all using this new ALTA statement. However, they're not supposed to.
Yeah. Well, it's
but
so interesting.
The problem comes in. A realtor submits a commission statement. He or she needs some sort of verification of what that commission statement is. So they need a HUD or a closing disclosure, an alter statement, something to show it. And technically, they're not supposed to get anything. So I know what a lot of companies are doing is they're having at contract signing the client sign a piece of paper saying that the agent is allowed to get a CD. Well, that's you just can't create a disclosure like that. Even though a lot of realtors are, not realtors, but real estate offices are creating that, and that
Correct.
defeats the whole purpose of a closing disclosure.
Hey, Manny, I just got an email 2 minutes ago. That's funny. I have to get the FHA certification form I need to get for something I'm working on.
Right?
That's very normal, right? The FHA certification.
I don't know. Are you talking about the mandatory clause?
I don't know. I just got a letter saying blah blah blah
Please
blah.
sign.
I
please
need
sign.
I needed to get it signed by you and me and the client.
And your client. Yeah, every FHA loan has something called a mandatory clause, which the buyer, the buyer's agent, the seller's agent all sign, and
You know that?
basically that nobody is in cahoots in buying and selling and flipping these properties, because you're only allowed to have one FHA loan. What they used to have years ago were straw buyers. So So, Joe, if you had an FHA loan, you would say to Tony, listen, I'm going to buy this house, but I'm going to do it in your name.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got you.
So that's the whole point of a mandatory clause, that the buyer is just a buyer, seller is a seller, their agents represent them.
Hey, how about VA loans? What's going on with them? Anything?
It's funny. My underwriter brought up a good point, and she always mentions it. She's been doing VA loans for 20 plus years, never denied a vet a loan. So if there's a vet out there and they're not taking advantage of it, shame on them, because it's a great program. It's definitely the best program out there.
So you'd give me a VA loan, Manny?
You could get a VA loan, Joe.
I could?
Well, did you do any military time?
Yeah. Listen to him. He busts my word. I was in the battle of I was in the Battle of Hillsborough. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you were in what? What were you? Now, were you fighting on the north side or the south side during the Civil War?
He's brutal, but he's accurate.
Well, we're gonna miss you, buddy. That's it. That's good.
End the call.
All right, end this call.
Yes.
Keep it up.
All right, guys. You have a great night.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right,
Bye.
pal.
Take
Take
care.
care. Thanks.
Yeah.
You too.
Actually, we don't want the next call to come on. Perfect.
He's funny. He's a good guy, but he knows his stuff. I'll tell you.
He does.
So that's Manny, and now that was just kind of a little surprise for me, to be honest with you. I'm hearing that the rates actually went down, where everybody's saying they're on their way up to the end of the year.
Well, the market, even today,
market.
I peeked at it. It was down 180, and
Yeah.
it actually ended up like 100 and something.
Yep.
So the volatility and the fact that who is really aware of what's going on in the market, because it's not just oil, it's all these billions. Oh, who saw the 60 Minutes show about those attorneys? There was a sting operation set up by
Oh,
this.
yeah. I saw that. Oh, my
And,
God.
It was very
About
interesting.
laundering money.
And I thought it was extremely hard to do here. Having seen that, I think all you have to do is go and talk to your friendly attorney.
Hey, watch it. None out here.
Well, yeah.
So there you go, folks. If you're thinking of buying, my gosh, 3.75. And if you're a veteran, geez.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, the vet program is
take
very,
advantage
very
of this
good.
veteran
Yeah.
stuff. And I don't know why you wouldn't. It's
Who do you talk to about a VA loan?
Yeah, mortgage.
No, we'll talk to
Right.
Manny.
Mortgage,
Talk
Manny.
to Manny.
Yeah.
Because I don't know
You're
if I
better.
told you, I talked to New Day USA,
New Day USA.
and they're supposedly there to help veterans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't help. Yeah.
No. In
No.
fact, they got very mad at me because I said, no, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
We started
You
talking
need-
and talking,
you
and
need-
I found out they were trying to make money out of me.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And every time they try to make money out of me, they'd say, we really do want to thank you for your
Oh,
service.
yeah.
Yeah.
You need to talk to a mortgage guy that knows what he's talking about. This guy
Now, if
I
you've-
use.
If I've had a VA loan before, can I get a second one?
You know, that's a good question. I really need to. I had a VA loan when I first came home from the Army.
Me too.
Now, did I use up my GI rights? So I don't know if that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't-
Manny, if you're not, you probably shut us off. If not,
Yeah.
call us back. Oh, he's calling back? No.
No.
No, maybe that's him texting.
He'll be in probably next week.
Yeah,
next
but-
week we're going to have a young lady, I believe, Ali DeCastro from
Ali?
Remax, New Jersey.
Yes,
She's a trainer.
Ali coming. Ooh,
And
Remax.
I had signed up to attend her class, and she'll be talking about the use of social media, the digital age, the revolution. Because as you were saying, 90 whatever percent people first
90%.
start their search online. And obviously the number of portals, in fact, while I was sitting here, the one of my clients called to say that the Realtor.com isn't fully showing the listing. And this is the trouble. I have spent so much time tracking through from GSMLS
Yep.
to Zillow and Trulia and
They take
Realtor
they
and
take time.
Wyckoff
They take
and
time to
Remax and-
populate. They don't populate right
well,
away.
also we have relationships with Advanced Media, and
Yep.
they own the Democrat, and they own
Yep.
NJ.com, and Christina Backer, that took over from Maggie Chess, was in the office this afternoon when you called, and I'm going through and I'm saying you have to learn each one, and they have their own analytics package that works in with Google Analytics as well, and there's a lot to it. So she'll be on.
Getting back, yeah. So in real estate, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have some really good things going on. Again, I've talked about the mayor. if you're listening and you live in Clinton Township, or even if you don't, we're going to have the mayor of Clinton Township on, Mr. John Higgins, on in 2 weeks. And I said before, I'm very excited over what I heard. The mayor has announced some new changes in the process of selling and buying a house, and they all look very positive. So if you have any questions about, hey, I still got snow on my front street, you could call in too. But we're going to bring the mayor on. He's a very open, honest man. And
Very smart guy. He's an engineer. He
was with Merck. He did their property management there,
and
so
he was on
knows
the planning board for
Planning
Clinton
board.
Township for how many years?
Yeah,
which
he's
is
a very nice
statement.
man.
Yeah.
We're very happy to have him as the mayor.
Yep.
I want to find out, and everybody gets. I'll say this on the air, so you can yell and boo at me and throw mud on me. 1 year since John Higgins announced that they're looking at possibility of closing a school in Clinton Township. I have my feelings and are very strong on the matter. And I think that the Clinton Township Board of Education is going to be announcing after 1 year the fact findings of their commissions and boards in a week or 2 or 3. So I'm anxious to know what they found out. Is the impetus there to close the school or not? The population doesn't warrant
And
it.
what the cost savings would be, because
Yes.
bearing in mind, when you've got people that are tenured and that whole backdrop, you really need to take a very measured approach and look out longer term, because what if you need to increase the number of seats available for students?
Well,
Should there be a
Should-
population influx?
yes. I mean, that's why you have
That's
demographers.
reasonable,
You have demographers who do that. And let's say they're good at what they do. They can predict 5 years out or 10 years out. Maybe they're not 10 years out, but they predict where the population is going to be. I'm not advocating get rid of school, but do something with it maybe differently. Maybe mothball it or make it into a rental, because you might need to resurrect it again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the economics sometimes, because of contracts and things, means you just have to keep going until, in the private world, companies go bankrupt. Look at the auto industry.
With teachers' union, that's a different story. I understand.
Well,
but
even
have
the only thing we did in Jersey was balance the budget, and then I heard a few days later that the courts had overturned the New Jersey state not providing funding to the pensions for the state workers. And I'm not here to say which is right or wrong.
I don't know, but I'm anxious to hear.
We are dysfunctional how can you set the rules and the laws, and then you have to go to the courts, and actually it just seems we have way too much of that going on.
Well, I want to hear the results of this fact-finding.
Actually, one of the
wait.
things, a little political, is Chris Christie that came out, and I'm not against him or for him. It's just that the attorney's firm that actually did a lot of the investigation was one of the biggest contributors to Chris Christie.
Is that wrong?
And
Is that wrong?
I do not know, and so I'm just saying, but if that seems pretty egregious too. So maybe it's not correct, but when someone told me
Hey,
that,
you know what I
went,
just saw?
"Oh,
Your
no."
buddy Rand Paul just said,
Stepped
I'm
down.
done. I
Yeah.
can't believe it.
Well,
They're going to be dropping like flies
It's so
now.
interesting, all this sort of navel gazing's over now. They're down to each state, and I think Ted Cruz, it was recognised the evangelicals and the strong conservative groups are really in Iowa, as I understand it. And that's
Well,
sort
we
of-
got 1 minute, and we're not going to talk politics,
Okay.
although that's when people start arguing and this.
well, that's
but,
what we need to change in Jersey.
All right, no politics. We're talking
Okay.
real estate.
Okay.
So we got a minute left, and I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Richard, our guy who's been over here, who's been really under the weather. Thank you, Richard. And we want to thank our other expert back there, Bruce Pearson, who's back there. And
He looks too happy against that
he's
wall.
sitting
What's
back
he been
there,
doing?
and he comes running to our rescue. And in his other job is he does the
I think
Food
he must be
Network.
drinking back there or
Yeah, he's
something.
sitting back there.
Yeah.
But I just want to say thank you. Stay tuned. We got a lot of good stuff coming up in the future. I'm Joe Eggert. Company I'm with is called Weichert. And here's my friend.
Yeah, Tony Page, like to say thanks again. If you have any ideas too, send in a note, jerseytalkradio.com. We broadcast out of the Flemington Car and Truck Country Broadcast Centre.
Yep.
Things are shaking here, so look forward to our next show next
Take care,
Wednesday.
everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Well done, Richard. Bruce. Good
Okay.
job. You got to.